Bitch, thank you. That's right.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the No World Order Podcast IG Live Edition.
What up?
I don't know what you were saying just there.
I was talking shit to the internet, making sure it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to put it in its place or else it'll do whatever it wants.
I'm your host, Drew.
I'm Zach.
And we are coming to you from San Diego, California. Today is September 1st, 2020. Welcome in, everybody. What do we have to talk about today? We have a lot to talk about.
A lot of shit.
Quite a busy week or so since we've last seen each other. I don't think we're able to kind of get into a lot of the current events from last week, but we're going to talk about something you had kind of brought to my attention. You had posted it on Instagram like, what, a month or two ago now? Something like that. But we'll get into it. It's dealing with Batman. There's like a new movie coming out.
Dude, yes.
So we'll get into that.
We'll get into
that. We'll talk a little bit about the Jacob Blake, the Kyle Rittenhouse, the Joey Gibson situation. We'll talk about mail-in fraud. We'll talk about all sorts of stuff. The CDC, missing children. So yeah, we kind of have a lot to go over. Like I said, it's been a pretty busy week. So
I want to say tumultuous. I feel like it's been tumultuous lately. Everything's popping off.
There's been a lot of stuff that has been kind of going on and popping off. But yeah, why don't you kind of get us into this first topic of this Batman thing? I know you kind of sent me this thing. I don't know.
I don't even remember. I send you so much shit. I don't remember which one I say.
No, it was the Batman thing of the. I don't know. It's not the cartoon. It's from the show or something.
Yes.
And it says, founded Skull and Bones or something like that. And so I think you were talking about it's going to be kind of diving more into that type of train of thought. So
yeah, so I stumbled upon somewhere online. It was like a comment somebody had made, and they're like, oh yeah, in the Batman series they say that Batman's grandpa started Skull and Bones. And I was like, what the hell kind of offhanded bullshit comment is that? So I have access to the old Batman series from 66 because I like to watch it. I think it's cool. And I went to this episode, and I posted it a while back, actually. So for anyone who wants to see screenshots, I already have it up there, but I'm referring back as a starting point. So the release date of this episode was May 4th of 66. Already we got numbers thrown out like 66, right? This is from season 1, episode 33. There's another number. 33. That's fun. There's that awesome 33. The name of the episode is called Fine Finny Friends. F being the sixth letter of the alphabet.
666.
So you got crazy. A 666 right there. So before we even know anything else, we have 3 different Masonic numbers highly tied to occult stuff right there. So I was like, okay, this is fucking crazy. And this was like crazy. Midnight when I was looking this up, so it all seemed very unreal. But there's some sort of a fundraiser with all these like rich people, and there's this older couple, and they're standing in I believe Bruce Wayne's manor, and they're looking up at a picture. It's like an old-timey looking guy with a college sweater with the Y for Yale. And the guy says to the old lady, oh, I heard he was tapped for Skull and Bones. And the lady replies, and she is like, tapped for? Mister, he started Skull and Bones. So in Batman world, as of 1966, what's his name? Alan Wayne, Bruce Wayne, Batman's grandpa, fucking started Skull and Bones. And like, it doesn't mean anything in the show. Like, they don't go, I don't think they go back to it later. It's just, it was just kind of, it's there. And it was like, these weren't even characters that you give a shit about. It was like, they're going from one main character to another main character. And in the middle, they caught this little bit of a conversation and then continued on. It was very, very strange. I really liked it.
It's obviously done. Like, it's purposely done. It's intentionally done. So yeah, that was really interesting when you sent that my way. And then, like you said, the fact that there's the 33 and then the FFF, which is the 6, that's crazy.
It's too much to be ignored. And that's my gauge, is when the coincidences start to pile up, it doesn't make sense. Exactly. There's shenanigans. So, kind of, I looked into it a little bit. And the actual person who's accredited with co-founding Skull and Bones, William Huntington Russell, was alive at the same time that the fictional character of Batman's grandpa was alive in the Batman series. So not only do they have like the school correct, but they have the years of the people correct. Like they're creating this whole like fictional timeline, but it's based on real shit. It's very, very strange. So then on to like more of that, piling onto that, in the newer Batman movies, the Christopher Nolan ones, there's a scene where, I don't think you've seen them, have you? With Bane and Joker and all those?
So I only saw, well, the one I was really heavily invested in was The Dark Knight, obviously. Yeah. And I think I did go back and watch the first one.
Yeah.
Which was, it was fine as well.
Right,
but Dark Knight was awesome.
Dark Knight was insane.
I never went and saw Bane. I remember when that came out, there was the whole Colorado shooting, and it had all this controversy around the opening of that movie. And like I've mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of superhero movies to begin with. But I know those ones were more of a realistic tone, especially like the Dark Knight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that had a more realistic, like, damn, this could actually happen.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just have never been drawn to it. So yeah.
I fucking love them.
Long answer is no, I haven't seen them.
I love them, and I analyze them, and I pick them apart like I do occult shit that I find, and oddly enough, they overlap quite a bit.
Yeah.
But in that movie, in the one with Bane, Dark Knight Rises, they take over. He takes over like a football stadium with everyone watching football. He fucking blows up the middle, so all the football players fall down to hell.
Dude, there's something with that movie too about Sandy Hook.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Too.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there too. So as this shit's going on, they cut to like the kind of like, I think it's like the mayor and like the town leaders that are watching the game from their box, and in the shot, the numbers 322 are right underneath them. So like it could be a stretch, but if they're saying in the if they're already creating that Masonic Skull and Bones tie, and then they're using the Skull and Bones fucking number years later, it can't be ignored. It stood out to me, and now I have a place to put it with all of this whole fucking story. Mm-hmm. The Sandy Hook thing. So in that movie, Bane annexes Gotham. Right? He's like, fuck everybody, fuck all the cops, fuck all the fucking judges. We're going to let the prisoners out. Everyone's going to do whatever you want, and no one's going to interfere. Do like whatever, free for all, right? So, and he takes all the cops prisoner and he puts them underground. It's really funny. But the good guys are trying to get back in, and so they're making this like secret fucking like, okay, we're going to attack here, we're going to do this, and we're going to blow them up there. And Gordon points to a map, and on the map is where it says Sandy Hook. Yeah. And this was, of course, before Sandy Hook happened.
Yep.
And then, like you had brought up at the midnight screening, is when Holmes allegedly was trying to be the Joker, which makes no sense if you're an actual Batman fan, because he doesn't look anything like him. But that's where all the shootings happen.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of shit tied with Batman. Anyway, all that leading up to the new one that's coming out. I watched the trailer. Nothing really stood out as like occulty or whatever. I mean, there's like, you know, one eyes here and there, and it's like, okay, whatever, they're there anyway. But a lot of the stuff that's going on with this new one has to do with what's called the Court of Owls, I think. There's a lot of like fan theories going on right now. Everyone's trying to pick apart the trailer for the new Batman to see what's going on. And in this one, it looks like the Riddler's the bad guy. But in the trailer, which I'm sure you haven't seen yet, probably.
No.
Not on your top list of things. So you got to watch it. Well, I'm going to make them watch it. You're like, okay, there's a wall.
Can't say that I have.
In the trailer, there's a wall with like news.
Can't say I got to that.
There's a wall with news clippings and like shit connecting to, and I'm like, this is conspiracy driven, right?
Yeah.
So basically, it looks like the Riddler killed the mayor in order to expose a deeper plot. And if you look at the clippings, it kind of looks like it says like historic third term, which is interesting because we're because we're kind of
dude. When the Trump says
last president ever,
dude, but he straight up said like he had a press conference and they were like chanting 4 more years, and he said if you really want to piss them off or make them mad, start chanting 12 more years. I was like, oh my god,
he's teasing it, man. I'm fucking it's so
crazy.
Weird. That's another. I'm sure we'll circle back to that later.
Yeah, hold on, let me just interject with that real quick, because I guess it's like there has been confirmation. People have admitted that they spied on his campaign coming in. So if there is that illegal fraudulent activity, I think that does give him the right to be able to run additional terms.
Does that negate the first term?
I think so.
Oh my god. Great. Now Obama's going to be like, oh, someone was spying on me too. And fucking Clinton's going to come back. Oh, someone was spying on me. Fuckers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Loopholes. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so so the trailer. So there's all these news clippings. It looks like maybe the mayor got his historic third term due to shenanigans. There's like references
voter
to
fraud, maybe.
Well, there's references to the mob having some ties with it, and there's like little references to like water wars. I don't know if you've seen Chinatown, but back in like the 30s, LA had no water. And they were trying to get water to the city, and the mob was heavily into it. And yeah, there's this weird connection with like water flow and mob, and so that's also referenced in this one. But what's really interesting is it kind of seems like the main bad guy that we think is going to be there, the Riddler, is trying to. It seems like he's trying to expose something deeper. So it seems like he's trying to like point Batman in a certain direction, and he's talking about these conspiracies, and he's talking about how the mayor's been lying in reference to his third term. So it kind of seems like the Riddler's the conspiracy theory nut, with some fucking actual information that he's trying to get to Batman. And Batman being like Mr. like do good. I think Riddler's trying to call him out and be like, yo, like you think you're fighting for the right people,
but they're the evil ones.
But they're the evil ones. So
I get that. That's crazy.
Yeah, going back to the Court of Owls. The Court of Owls is like this secret fucking society. And if you yeah, Bohemian Grove, right? Yeah. But if you look it up, it says they're a secret society. They've been around since the 1600s. They've been ruling Gotham in secret since then. There's like a little like nursery rhyme that I guess people in Gotham tell their kids to make them like fucking scared and like, you know, listen. You know, so they've been there. They've been ruling in secret. There's no proof they actually exist. And I kind of think
just like the Illuminati.
Dude, exactly. It's a fairy tale, but like, no, they fucking rule shit. They wear white like owl masks, like from Third Kind and shit. And they're ruling in secret. So I think I'm thinking that the Riddler is trying to expose all that stuff, and in the process, possibly incriminate the Wayne family because Bruce Wayne's dad and grandpa have been part of this lineage, I think is where they're going. I think they're saying Wayne is part of the fucking bloodline of the Court of Owls, and the Riddler's like, fuck you guys, dude. You guys are all corrupt. You too, Batman. I don't give a shit if you wear a mask. So it's really exciting. I'm trying to just, wear your fucking mask. Fuck that. I'm trying. This is all really just to get you to watch a fucking superhero movie, like opening weekend or something. But anyway, it all seems to tie together. It all is relevant, which is really weird.
Well, I mean, I love Joker.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was different. Again, it is more of a realistic twist on things. So if it gives me that realism, then, you know, I'll probably be into it. And, those first Batman, like the first one, Dark Knight, I just never went back to the Dark Knight Rises. Nothing against it because the first two were, you know, the first one was okay. It was, you know, I had no problems.
I was the same with that one. I was like, yeah. Okay.
But Dark Knight, I fucking loved it. I went and got the DVD and watched it. That's probably one of my most watched movies. You know what I mean? So I just never went back and watched Dark Knight Rises. But if it gives me more something of like that, like the Dark Knight or something like that, I'll probably be into it.
Well, in Trump's, whoa. And Trump's, I think it was like one of his speeches before he became president, or maybe right when he did, I can't remember. He says like a few lines that Bane says when Bane takes over Gotham. I remember people
saying that. Yeah.
I think you'd like it because Bane is like, he's very kind of do as thou wilt. And he takes the judges and he throws them out on the streets, and it's interesting to say the least. But I think this movie's gonna pick up where those ones left off as far as incorporating real life shit people don't believe in or see and exposing it.
So is this a new series completely?
It's a new fucking movie.
So it's not anything to do with the other ones at all?
I mean, I don't think so in general, but if that is gonna happen, it has not been hinted at yet.
Okay. But it's not by like the same director.
No, it's by
that.
It's by the dude that did Seven and Zodiac. So, which is cool because if the Riddler's going to be this crazy guy going around killing people trying to expose stuff, and he's leaving little cryptic notes because he's the Riddler and shit. So I think it's going to have a really cool vibe, really realistic or more modern as you were saying, and not like, 1966 Adam West, which there's nothing wrong with. But yeah, I wanted to get that out there because it's been on my mind. Court of Owls ties into Illuminati shit.
Oh, yeah.
They say it's a secret society that controls Gotham and there's no proof they exist.
Yeah.
And that's where Batman kind of like, he finally finds something in the comics in the New 52 that kind of proves they exist. And then he runs with it. And then he finds out that one of them like killed his parents, and he has this hunch, but then like were they part of it though? Like, yeah, how does the Riddler tie? So there's a lot of shit, and again, it's just art imitating life. So I thought it was relevant. Yeah. Plus, I really just wanted to make a Batman meme with the headphones on, ripping his pod.
That's funny. That's good. Yeah, that's when is that supposed to come out? Do you know?
That's a good fucking question. I have no idea, actually. I've just been analyzing the trailer. I don't even know when it comes out.
Is this supposed to be a theater release, or
dude,
straight to Netflix or something? I
have no idea. I wouldn't mind. Like Mulan's being released on Disney. It's like $30. I'd pay $30 to watch a new movie at home.
Really?
Fuck yeah, dude. I've been saying I've been saying this shit for years.
Like on Disney Plus, you have to pay to watch.
Yeah. So you have to pay for the monthly, and then you got to pay for the new release.
Offering that? That's great. Wow.
I've been talking about that for years, and if it weren't for Corona, I'd be all behind it. You know what I mean? Watching a new release at home.
Yeah.
I love going to the movies. I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think about that business then of movie theaters? Because that would, I mean, obviously it already has taken that industry kind of down.
It's weird that in a lot of ways I feel like we're going back in time.
Oh,
like
yeah.
drive-ins are cool now because they're social distance, or you can just fucking stream something new at home.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who knows when the theaters will be open?
Yeah. So now that we got that out of the way,
my fun shit.
Fun stuff, let's get into some of the heavy stuff. So
I'm gonna get pissed.
Yeah. So tell me what you do know about the situation. It started out with Jacob Blake, and that was the guy who got shot by the cops. And then that led into Kyle Rittenhouse, who ended up shooting 3 people and killing 2. And then, in result of that, in Portland, so that happened in Wisconsin, both the Jacob Blake and the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, both happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Interesting.
And then, because of that, and because of the outrage of that situation, more protests started happening in Portland, and over the weekend, Joey Gibson got shot for basically, from my understanding, for just being a Trump supporter. So yeah, those are the 3 kind of situations that have gone on. What do you know about any of them so far? I can kind of fill in what you don't know.
I believe Jacob Blake is a black male, right? And I think he is now unable to walk.
Paralyzed, yes.
He is paralyzed?
From my understanding as of now, yeah. I mean, hopefully, there's chance of recovery. I don't know, but the last I heard from a day or 2 ago, yeah, he's paralyzed.
So yeah, I've heard little stuff here and there. I didn't look into them all a lot because I am now falling under the everything is a fucking false flag of some sort until proven otherwise. But I've heard that he's a black male. He can no longer walk. He was shot by cops in the back. But I also heard about his criminal history. And that they were there because of that.
Yeah, he actually did have the cops called on him. He wasn't there breaking up a fight like initially reported. Or like that.
He wasn't saving a cat out of a tree.
He actually had the cops called on him by a woman who he had sexually assaulted and actually digitally raped her. So
that is what I read as well.
That is the kind of person that you're dealing with this guy, and who has waved guns at people in the past and has been known to have weapons on him before. He was said to have had a knife on him at the time. He had a warrant for his arrest, so the cops were fully aware of the situation going into it. Initially there was one video, is like a 10-15 second video of him circling around the car, trying to go into the car, and then get shot in the back 7 times. That's what stemmed a lot of the outrage. People started protesting that night, burning shit, and it got really bad really quick. And the next day or 2 days later, I don't know the exact time frame of it, but an additional video was released showing that he was actually in a physical confrontation with the cops, fighting them, pushing them off. Cops tried tasing him, didn't do anything to him. He walked around his car, was reaching for presumably a knife, which was on the floorboard because they said a knife was on the floorboard.
He wasn't getting a stick of gum.
Exactly. And they shot at him. What is your opinion? So take it for being real.
Okay.
And that situation as what it is. What is your thoughts on that?
I do believe you're legally allowed to defend yourself up to the point of death for wrongful arrest. However, since they were called because he had a fucking restraining order and then was going and raping the girl who had the restraining order on him, he kind of should have shut the fuck up and taken the cuffs.
Yeah. So hold on. What was that? You said, the first sentence you said?
I believe, no, don't quote me, but I believe you're legally allowed to defend yourself up against unlawful arrest.
Okay.
Up until the point of death. So if a fucking cop is trying to arrest you, you haven't done anything, but he has a secret agenda and he fucking pulls a gun on you and you pull yours and you fucking shoot him, like, I believe that's legal.
Gotcha.
Although, there's they come in swarms, so you wouldn't get that far. However, I believe that is fact, but that's unlawful. So like I try to do it from like the point of Jacob Blake, right? If I'm just chilling or whatever, and then these guys roll up and they try to do whatever, shoot me, and I'm like, yo, I didn't do anything. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they come at me with guns drawn. It wouldn't be the smartest choice, but maybe I do pull a knife because I'm like, yo, wrongful arrest, and I can defend myself because that's what's legal. But if I'm a fucking criminal and I just raped the girl who has a restraining order against me, and then the cops come, I know I'm caught. Like, at that point, and he
had kids in the car, and he was trying to steal a car. Those weren't his keys. He was trying to steal a car with kids in it, and had this prior history.
Listen,
I'm not saying like police should be shooting people and all that if it's unjustified, but at what point, like, why do we have to vilify and demonize cops if like they have a job? They're people too, you know what I mean? Like, they have the right to protect themselves as well. And if that goes to the Kyle Rittenhouse thing too, but if we're gonna like start criminalizing people for defending themselves, we are in real trouble as a country, and that scares me.
We are in real trouble as a country, I think, but everyone has a job, and I don't think they're doing their job as an excuse. Like, I don't care. I think most cops need to be fucking revamped, re-educated, whatever. Like, I saw this sticker, shout out Mark of the Beast, that he made, and it says defuck the police, not defund them. Like, it says defuck, and I'm more along those lines. Like, I'm not about getting rid of them all, really. No. I'm not. I'm about repurposing most of what they've become.
You're gonna send a social worker in to deal with Jacob Blake?
Right.
Come on, like, think about it. How he had a knife and was about to steal a car with kids in it.
And most social workers I've met are females too.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, so, I get all that, and I'm not a fucking defend the cop people.
No,
defend the cops person. But
it's been crazy because I never was either. But over these last handful of months, it's like I feel myself trying to defend the cops more than the protesters, which is insane to me. But the rioters and protesters are destroying communities, and I'm not okay with that. As a libertarian, I'm all for freedom, but as soon as you go destructing people's personal property and killing people's lives, like, you want to put that before property, obviously. You're killing people and then destroying property. Like, I have a problem with that. That's not okay.
Yeah, that's why this might be more of a Kyle Rittenhouse story, but I'm all about people standing up for their own shit.
Dude, yeah, we'll get into that right now.
Someone comes to your house with a gun, pull a fucking gun on them,
So people got, like, there was a whole bunch of information coming out about that story as well. So he is from Illinois, but only about 25 minutes away from Wisconsin, from Kenosha, Wisconsin. And I guess that's less than the average person's commute time in America. So, you know what I mean? So that's not that far. Just because it's across state lines doesn't mean it's far.
It's imaginary lines.
Exactly. Yeah. But he works in Kenosha, Wisconsin as a lifeguard. This is from my understanding. I'm just gathering the facts. And he got a call from somebody to help protect the business after work. But after work, he was shown there cleaning graffiti, helping out. Like, that's what he was doing. I did see a pic of that. Community. Yeah. And he said he was there. Then he got interviewed by somebody. He was holding his rifle, and He was like, what are you doing here? Oh, I got called. I'm here to protect this business. Like, we're here for you guys. We're not against you guys. We just are protecting the businesses and the property and stuff like that. Like, we don't want any issues, but we're here to protect ourselves and the businesses, you know? So he made his intentions clear. Like, he wasn't there to, like, hurt anybody or out for vengeance or anything like that. He was there in the community helping. He works there. And, you know what I mean? Like, they have this problem with fires and, you know, businesses being destroyed, so they got a group together and they went out and were protecting his business. And then I guess there was a little scuffle that went on, and this is where it gets a little confusing and a little, you know, still not 100% sure. All I know is Kyle Rittenhouse got chased by a group of people. He got chased, he stumbled to the ground. One guy came and like was kicking him in the face. Another guy came and hit him with a skateboard. He turns. God. Another guy was coming with a gun to him. If he didn't shoot this guy's arm off, Kyle Rittenhouse would have been dead. Because he was coming about to shoot him. He turns, blows this guy's arm like. Is funny. Disaster has this thing saying, "Fuck around with Antifa and become a lefty for life."
Damn. What kind of weapon did he have, Kyle?
Kyle had like a some sort of rifle. I don't know. Okay. I'm not a big gun person. I just know it wasn't a handgun. It was definitely a rifle. You know what I mean?
Okay, got it.
And but this other guy blow something off. Came chasing with a gun. He shot his arm and then got off another 2 shots or something like that, and actually killed 2 people, which is crazy. The 2 people he killed were criminals who had like both with child rape stuff.
Oh my god. So
the odds, dude, the odds are insane that he happened to hit like these 2 sexual pedophile type people, dude. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Not saying it's right, but he was being attacked, so it's like, dude, and now he's in jail facing charges. Hopefully it doesn't stick, but it's just like, dude, we're gonna start penalizing for people who are protecting themselves. Like, that's really scary, man.
Yeah.
It's really scary. And then, like I was saying, in Portland, this guy, Joey Gibson, he was the leader and I think one of the founders of the Patriot Prayer, a conservative far-right advocacy group. The Christian group has organized several marches and rallies around Portland in support of free speech, gun rights, medical freedom, and sanctuary counties for the Constitution.
Oh.
They have clashed several times with liberal protesters and demonstrators, particularly in the wake of the Black Lives Matter movement. And there was video. It's kind of inaudible a little bit. It's hard to really tell, but it sounds like in a video, someone saying, "We got a Trumper right here," and then bang, bang, bang.
Wow.
And end of his life, man. It's so sad. It's like, we're really, I mean, people are saying we're in the midst on the beginning of the Civil War. It's like, people are saying it's coming. I don't know, but we're getting there for sure if we're not already in the very early stages of it.
Yeah, I think the more we see people post, the closer we are. Because the more people are posting, the more I see it as us being manipulated. They're gonna manipulate us into riots and into chaos.
Well, I don't know. That's what's really interesting, because when you watch the mainstream, which I'm sure you don't really pay attention to the mainstream, but a lot of the mainstream isn't even covering this stuff. They're not showing the riots. They're not showing the fires. They're saying it's mostly peaceful. It's
I did see that.
Independent journalists who are on the ground showing the real shit going on. So that's what's confusing, because it's like the media isn't the one stirring the frenzy. They're the ones kind of holding back, suppressing it, because it's going against what they want. You know what I mean?
They just want to talk about on Trump the masks and the post office.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
The media is being pretty silent, except when it was Kyle Rittenhouse.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they'll never go say Jacob Blake and his criminal history, just like they never talked about fucking George Floyd's.
No. Exactly.
Interesting.
And I'm not saying Kyle Rittenhouse is a good person. He's 17 years old. I think there was like a video of him from like a couple years back of him getting into a little confrontation with a woman. Like, I don't know if he punched her or something like that. I don't know. There's video. I didn't watch the whole thing. He has some sort of history with police as well. So I'm not saying he's some saint, some kid, but if we're protecting ourselves, we should have that right. And people are saying he's 17, he shouldn't have had a weapon, cross state lines. Well, the weapon never crossed state lines, but also in the Second Amendment, aren't we like a well-regulated militia? I thought that gave us the right, and that's what they were, from my understanding. They were part of a militia. That's what they were doing. They were, and I thought we were protected under that.
People don't give a shit about the Constitution anymore. I don't. Yeah. They've been slowly chipping away at it. And I think they have enough support behind them to like start to repeal bits of the Constitution because people are like, well, it's outdated. Shut the fuck up. Exactly. Are you like, come on, that
was like, written with muskets and it's like,
shut the fuck up. Like there's amendments. If we want to amend something, let's amend something. But you can't just fucking throw the whole thing out.
No way.
But I'm sure Antifa would love that.
Yeah.
What's up, Portland, dude? Portland, calm down. Dude. Like it doesn't get dark until like 10 there during the summer. Just go home.
Yeah.
Like I was there. I went on vacation there. Just chill.
You know what's crazy is
or kill each other. Fuck it. I don't care.
They've been doing this like every night for 104 or 5 nights, something like that. Now 100, give or take a few days, something like that. And the Kenosha thing happened, and that was maybe 2-3 days. They called in federal help. Fix like that.
What?
They just had a press conference. They brought in National Guard and stuff, cleaned everything up. Streets are cleared out now, and I don't know if the presence of the National Guard or whoever was brought in, I don't know if that presence is still gonna stay to like enforce it, but it just shows you how quickly, if you ask for the help, they'll come in and clean it up. You know what I mean? And Trump's been saying that, but Portland doesn't want it. He keeps asking, calling every day, every couple days. Hey, we can come in. No, we don't want your help. But then it's burning every fucking day. Like, it makes no sense, dude. And he's like, I don't know if it's political. I don't know what it is with them, but we're here for them, but they're not asking for it. And people are saying, oh, yeah, this is happening under Trump's America. You think you'd be safer if he's reelected? Honestly, yeah, I would feel safer than Biden.
Oh, my God.
But I will say, it's like, if Trump were to just send in National Guard or military into these places without their consent, people would call him a dictator. People would say, oh, he's Hitler, just sending in the troops, sending in the SS. Dude, there he is, sending him in without our consent. But now he's not. He's waiting for you to ask, and you're like, he's not doing anything. Oh, my gosh. Like, he can't do anything right, and that's just what kind of drives me crazy with it all.
Weren't there, like, federal agents there? Like, what was that whole thing? Was that Trump sending in people without permission? Those federal agents that were allegedly going in there and taking people in unmarked cars and all that? Remember?
Yeah. Was that in Seattle or Portland?
Portland.
That was in Portland?
That was, like, right after I got back from there. Okay. And I was like, I didn't see any of this shit going on. By the way, when I was there, I saw nothing going on.
It's only in like this 2-block area, the Justice Department.
I was fucking downtown. Like, I saw the spray paint and everything, but I didn't see nothing. No craziness. I was kind of hoping for it. I wanted to see it, man. Yeah.
It's interesting. It is interesting.
It is. I don't know. I'm done guessing, I think, for the year. Other than fucking Project Bluebeam, I have no idea what the hell's going to happen.
Dude, all I know is after this last week, I talked to my dad, and it's like, we need a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting that bad out there, and it's like I told him my concerns of why I don't want one, but it's like it's getting to the point where it's like, I don't know, man, and I don't know if that is media hype or what, but it's like I'm not watching the mainstream. I'm watching the independent journalists who are on ground. You know,
dude,
who are in it every single night. So they're the ones kind of painting the picture, and they don't have, in my opinion, they don't have an agenda. They just want the truth, just like us. So I don't know what it is, but it seems like it's getting pretty hostile out there, and the media is just quiet on it.
Well, I think this is, I don't know if we're at the most gun sales yet, but I think we were on track to be like the most gun sales like ever in a year.
Wow.
It was like millions and millions. Like everyone is fucking getting one. So yeah, I invite you to be a part of that group, because all the people that are out there flapping gums and fucking flexing and
we were talking about
raging in Portland.
Shotgun.
Yeah. Go down to Gunther Guns.
Yeah.
They're always posting when they have new shotties, and they get it. It seems like they get them a lot.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, anyone out there who wants to get a gun, go take that fucking test first. It's easy. It's mostly common sense. Pay the $35 or whatever, and get yourself that fucking little card and get a fucking gun.
I don't do good at tests.
Because it's easy. It's like, do you point the gun at yourself or a target? You're like, fucking the target.
Depends how I'm feeling.
No. All right, we may need to talk about that off air. But I think shit could possibly go very, very far down, and I think we're in a good spot. We're in San Diego. There's a lot of military. There's a lot of ex-military. Like, I don't think shit's gonna go down crazy here, but places like Portland and Seattle,
but it
they
is
might
going
get
down in San Diego. From my understanding, after the Jacob Blake thing, there was like it picked up again in San Diego. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even hear about it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where in San Diego, but I was reading an article and it said San Diego was a main city that got hit with the riots again. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't believe it. I didn't see or hear any of that shit from anyone or any news outlet or nothing.
But dude, when it was really going on, there was no media coverage of the San Diego protests.
Right. It's all fucking sleight of hand.
Yeah.
I think all the people that are out there doing this shit now are fucking around. They don't know what they're doing, and it's resulting in fucking deaths and confusion and media misdirection or fucking no direction at all. But when shit gets serious, then all the fucking people that will form a well-regulated militia and will actually do some shit are going to show out. If the power goes off and fucking Biden, or if the power goes off and Trump disappears and people say he's dead, then we will see all of the fucking real people stand up, go the fuck outside with their weapons and fucking regulate shit.
Yeah.
I am like prepared to take my fucking block and put it on lockdown. I'm not fucking kidding. And we know someone who lives close to me, and I'm going to have them post it somewhere else. Yeah. Like, I'm fucking annexing the whole... I'm pulling a Bane from fucking Batman. I'm annexing it and keeping us safe.
Me and my neighbor were just talking. We were texting the other day, and me and him were saying, like, we haven't really talked much. He's been working on music stuff and all that, so we haven't really been talking as much. But I saw him the other day. I was like, dude, it's been crazy in the news, huh? He's like, yeah. And then he texted me. He's like, yeah, man, we need to talk this coming week and formulate a game plan in case shit goes crazy or whatever. He's like, I'd rather be prepared than unprepared, you know?
Yep.
I was like, I 100% agree.
Exactly. So, I would order a little extra canned food right now.
Yeah.
Get a fucking gun. And make exit plans or make hunker down plans, whatever.
Yeah. It's probably good to have, like, okay, if it goes down in this area, we can go over here. If it goes down in this area, we got to make our way over here.
Right.
So having a couple different spots, locations, I think would definitely be beneficial as well.
I'm gonna go hide in the mountains, man.
Yeah. So the United States Postal Service.
What the fuck about them? I'm so okay. I'm just gonna blow it open. I am so tired of people telling me to send letters to my friends to save the post office. No, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I guarantee I use a post office more than everyone who's fucking talking about it right now. We send out mailers.
Yeah.
Like, we fucking do that shit. I buy shit online, not through Amazon sometimes. I'm done. Don't tell me to fucking save them. Are they not run by the government? The post office?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the post office is run by the government and the government says, hey, we got to cut your funding, or hey, we need you to change your job up a little bit, or you're just getting outdone by other fucking private companies, then that's what the fuck happens.
Yep.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why everyone... Maybe you can tell me. Why is everyone so about it? What are they saying?
Well, I don't really understand all of it either. So let me just read some of what I had kind of taken down. It says, President Trump said he opposes the push by Democrats to give the United States Postal Service billions of dollars for the election. The recent virus-driven decline follows more than a decade of annual decreases in mail volume as more companies have digitized their billing and marketing operations. So yeah, they've had like just a decade long of decrease in mail. I think they're losing money for close to this amount of time as well. And it says that overall decline is a part of why postal officials have said they need cost-cutting measures. Less mail this year has meant less postal revenue. But Louis DeJoy, the Trump-aligned Postmaster General, who has overseen the decommissioning of mail sorting machines and cutbacks in overtime, announced that he would suspend such changes until after the election. Last year, the Postal Service estimated that it handled 2.5 billion pieces of first-class mail in just the weeks before Christmas, its busiest week of the year. Quote, from a sheer numbers perspective, none of the experts I spoke with doubted that the Postal Service can handle a vote-by-mail election, even if every one of the nation's more than 150 million registered voters stuck their ballot in a mailbox. Russell Berman writes in The Atlantic, quote, as one noted, to me, as presidential election might be a big deal, but in postal times it's no Christmas. So they're straight up saying like it's not a big deal, but the Democrats are saying like it is a big deal. I don't know, dude. Actually, I'm really confused because it seems like the Republicans are saying no, we can't have this mail-in voting. So yeah, it's a really confusing thing. But all I know is they have the capacity and enough people on hand to be able to process the mail from the election. They do it every single year for Christmas at a higher volume in that shorter amount of time. So I don't understand all of the intricacies of what's going on with the mail-in, you know.
I don't think anybody does.
It's confusing.
Despite the memes. I don't think anyone knows.
To me, it's really confusing. Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like both sides, yeah, to me, it's both sides are, it's a confusing topic to me, but I don't trust everybody having it done through mail. I mean, from my research, there's been over 15, like around 15 examples starting from 2003, so recent times of voter mail fraud, and the places are from like Indiana, Alabama, Mississippi, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Texas, Missouri, Florida, and North Carolina.
So everywhere.
All over the place. And this deals from absentee ballot fraud. A vote harvester submitted illegal mail-in ballots while eligible provisional ballots went uncounted. Campaign had bribed voters, tampered with absentee ballots, and improperly assisted voters at the polls.
Wow. You can't do that.
Yeah,
that's like against the rules, guys.
Yeah. Absentee ballots cast either had a forged signature or weren't notarized or signed in front of the requisite number of witnesses. Illegally soliciting absentee ballots to benefit running mate in the 2009 Democratic primary for town council.
So even on a small scale,
yes, it's
they're
happening
fucking doing
on
it.
Small scale.
So there's no reason to think it wouldn't happen with the presidency, the biggest election we have.
Exactly.
Okay.
Stuffing ballot boxes and falsifying absentee ballots to try and steal Democratic primary election in 2010. Justice Department brought a civil suit against Noxubee County, Mississippi over a massive absentee voter fraud operation run by the local Democratic Party machine. Prosecutors said notaries paid by the machine took ballots from mailboxes and voted the ballots in place of the intended voters.
Oh my God, dude.
So yeah, I mean, I just kind of, a few of these were, you know, specifically Democratic, you know, people dealing with it, but when I was reading it, I didn't have it, but it was dealing from both parties. Like, I'm not just trying to signal out Democratic right there, but it was from both sides, and that just shows how kind of fucked up this whole process can be, you know.
Yeah, I saw a video, I think I posted it and we talked about it, of a mail carrier straight up throwing a bunch of stuff in the dumpster. Like, people are telling me to use the post office more, and this chick's just throwing shit in the dumpster. What if that was a card to my fucking grandma?
Yeah, exactly.
I should send my grandma a card. But, like, what if, you know what I mean? Why, like, they're showing that they fucking can't handle it.
Yeah,
and
people were saying, like, oh, if you trust the Postal Service so much, take out however much money you have. Like, however much money you like, and send it in an envelope to yourself. Mail it to yourself.
Right.
Do it.
No.
I bet you won't.
Even
you know?
yeah, growing up, one of the first things I learned about writing a letter, because I grew up at a time where you had to learn how to write a letter.
Yeah,
You know, like it actually fucking mattered. One of the rules about sending postage is don't send cash.
Yeah,
Anywhere and everywhere. So I was like, don't send cash. I was like, why? Because it'll fucking get lost. Because someone will rip it. Because it's not as reliable as the fucking sun. You know. And what was another point I was gonna get to? I completely forgot what it was. Go off on tangents, you get lost.
Yeah.
But so there. Oh, and then I think last presidential election there was some shit about deceased names being used on ballots.
Dead people getting dogs. I think getting ballots.
Dogs.
Like, dude,
Amelia.
it's crazy.
There, somebody. I posted something, and one of my old friends texted or direct messaged me and was like, "What's the difference between it getting tampered with in the mail and like you going to somebody's house who's running a ballot voting area and them fucking with it?" And she was basically like, they both seem like they have the possibility. Exactly. And I was like, you know what? That's a fucking good point. I wouldn't fucking go there either. I wouldn't go to someone's fucking house to vote.
Yeah. I don't like those. I don't like those
no,
either.
that's weird.
Yeah, those ones are weird. I don't like those ones.
And like you were saying about how they do more mail in a quicker period of time around Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I had learned that most of the candy companies get most of their money during Halloween. And then the rest of the year they kind of coast and a little bump for Easter maybe, but like Halloween, I think it's like 90% of their revenue comes from Halloween. So like if I make a candy for myself at home, someone's gonna be like, no, you need to support Nestle. Go buy a candy from the store. Like that's what I hear when people are like, you need to go fucking mail, like you need to use the mail to vote. Why?
Exactly.
If I'm choosing to do something else, what does it matter to you? Stop telling me to buy more stamps. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's outdated and it's still a fucking tool of the government. Whether it's the left wing or the right wing, we're getting fucked by the same dick. So it's, you know what I mean? It belongs to the government. It's not us.
That's why you gotta vote Joe Jorgensen.
Yeah.
Libertarian.
If you can. I don't even think we can do that. Are you registered?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't think
I'm
not registered.
Because I voted for the primary. So I don't know if that. Yeah.
They changed the fucking rules so much, especially in California. Like
I don't know.
Yeah. Like I want to go do it in person just to be rebellious. And not wear a mask. But I don't really want to vote for anyone. Biden's a fucking pervert.
I mean, I would have to.
I would go Jorgensen, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I read her agenda the other day on.
I didn't get to listen to it.
And I agree with, like probably 90%, 95% of what it involves. And I wasn't even mad at Trump's agenda plan for the most part, but, I still can't support a Republican or a Democrat. So that's why it's like, I would have to throw my support to the Libertarian candidate because that's just where my values align best. Is I just want freedom for everybody and equality for everybody, and that's what that party is about. And it seems like people just don't realize it, and that's what's frustrating, because I think if more people kind of really took notice of the third party, of the Libertarian Party, like we could actually make real changes. There's like 26% of people who didn't vote last year. If those 26% of people who are like, oh, your vote wouldn't matter, oh, I'm just not voting because I don't agree with the two parties, but if they all voted for Libertarian, that 26% would take out the percentage of the Republican or the Democrat. It's crazy, man. So it's like we need those people who are like, oh, I can't vote or I don't want to vote. If you're eligible and you don't like the two parties, there is a third party out there. And I'm gonna keep saying it as much as I can because I think it's an important thing. But this is another important thing. The CDC came out and said,
good segue,
that only 6% of the COVID-19 deaths were pure 100% coronavirus COVID-19 deaths. 94% had underlying conditions.
Now wait a minute, 94% seems like a lot.
That's quite high, I would say.
I would, like, if I got a 94 in a test, I'd be stoked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So 6% of Americans
that
died
like an A.
I think, yeah, you don't get the plus, but it's an A, and that's all that really matters. So only 6% of the reported coronavirus deaths were specifically from coronavirus.
Yeah.
Which I believe I've seen varying numbers, but it's been the over-under around 10,000.
Yes.
Is what I've been seeing.
Exactly. So. Because it's up to like 120, 130,000 or something like that right now. The total.
Okay. Right.
That CNN is still pushing, and they haven't updated their counter yet, which is just crazy.
So if the CDC says actually 6% have died of coronavirus, and CNN doesn't change their statistics, does that not make it fucking fake news?
Exactly.
How are they not liable?
Exactly.
How are they not getting in trouble for that shit?
Because crazy.
Their fucking ties, their connection, their money.
What's that thing that Sam Tripoli says where they made propaganda legal?
Oh yeah.
So it's
they did.
You know,
they for sure did.
That's probably why they're able to get off with fake news. But some of the underlying conditions are influenza, pneumonia, respiratory failure, hypersensitive disease, diabetes, vascular and unspecified dementia, heart failure, and like a handful of other conditions were all listed as these underlying conditions. So I think heart problem, like all that stuff sounds like that would be a big cause. And it's like, we were saying this from early on. And dude, in May, San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond, I know I talked about this before, he started digging into the data and said here in San Diego at the time, only 6 of the county's 194 coronavirus identified deaths were pure. So he was kind of already on this shit way before. And that was in May.
Jim Desmond, hats off, pal.
So over close to 3 months, it took the CDC to catch up to what this local guy figured out.
Right.
Like, that's crazy to me, man.
Now,
but we get called crazy for saying, no, they were lying to us. But
right.
now it's come out, just like the CDC admitted that the hospitals get incentives. Funny how all of this is coming out just months later. But we were called crazy before.
I feel like I've been in a fucking time warp.
Yeah.
Because now people are like, you know what? I'm tired of wearing a mask, and now I want to go back to work. I'm like, where the fuck have you been for 6 months? This is the shit I was saying back then.
Yeah.
This is the reason. This is not the reason, but this was like our tipping point to starting to do this regularly. Is we're so fucking done with everything.
Yeah.
So 10,000 people in the last 6 months have died from coronavirus. Is that a reason to shut everything down continually to the point where I read that in Hawaii they're stopping people and having mandatory COVID tests?
Crazy.
What the fuck is that about?
Crazy.
That's insane.
And so, like barber shops and all that were allowed to open except in LA.
What's up with Garcetti?
Dude,
that guy, dude. LA, you guys need to you need to fucking, actually, no, I'm gonna retract that. They have been fucking protesting because I know all the fucking Save the Children protests have been going on.
We'll get into that right now. Well, not that, but kind of ties in with all that.
What a good example of all different types of people coming together for a common cause and raising awareness while not fucking killing each other, others, or animals, unlike all these other fucking places.
Property.
Yeah.
You know?
And they went right to CNN and were fucking chanting him out. You know what I mean? They still were doing shit without fucking being negative.
Exactly.
Amazing.
And people will still say, oh, why aren't the cops stepping in and tear gassing them? Do you see them destroying property?
And they're doing it during the fucking day. Yeah. They're not waiting till night, Portland, to go do shit.
Exactly. So we just have a few minutes left, but I wanted to kind of get into this because this was important stuff as well. The media's kind of went silent on this.
Weird.
I've seen it a little bit, a couple stories here or there, but for the most part, you would think these stories would kind of be all over. Nearly 200 children are reportedly missing in Ohio right now, and the task force is making progress tracking them down. U.S. Marshals say some of the children may be in danger, and some of those found were confirmed to be related to human trafficking or prostitution. WOIO reports that Operation Safety Net recovered 25 missing children in its first 2 weeks, and the sting is continuing now. The task force is led by U.S. Marshals working with local authorities to get endangered kids to safety. Quote, these are kids that have been abused, neglected, some involved in human trafficking, end quote. United States Marshal Pete Elliott told WOIO they reported that of the 24 missing children found, they were between 13 and 18 years old. Operation Safety Net is reportedly focusing on Cleveland and its surrounding cities, but the task force is covering all northern Ohio. It's made up of about 350 men and women from 125 different departments across the states. So that's in Ohio. So that was pretty big news. And then I think just a few days later, a week or so, like not even a week later, United States Marshals announced they had rescued 26 children and located 13 others in a 2-week operation dubbed Operation Not Forgotten. According to a news release, some of the rescued children are some of the most at-risk and challenging recovery cases in Georgia, based on indications of high-risk factors such as victimization of child sex trafficking, child exploitation, sexual abuse, physical abuse, and medical or mental health conditions. 9 people were arrested, and many who have had multiple arrest warrants for charges like sex trafficking, parental kidnapping, registered sex offender violations, drugs, and weapon possessions.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's kind of big.
But Kyle Rittenhouse took out a few of them, right? So there's 2 less pedophiles in the world? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that insensitive of me to say?
No,
not to the fucking
it's
kids
true.
that they've abused.
Yeah, no, it's 100% true. But, yeah, the media, man, it drives me crazy. But, yeah, this is great news. Like, why are they not focusing on this? And to highlight that this is actually a big problem, like people have been saying. Like, people have been saying this for so long. And it's just, I'm not saying that these protests have anything to do with it, but it is interesting that people have started protesting, being very, very vocal, and now we have 2 major sting operations that have happened.
Under Trump, technically, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to give him credit for that.
Of course.
Real quick, too, I wanted to interject. Going off of that, in North County, there's been a van. I posted it.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, so there's been... And this has happened. It's reoccurring because I know, like, at the local Walmarts and Targets in the past, there have been vans unmarked going around trying to pick up kids. And they target single mothers. They target single just females with kids. They work in groups. They will wait until you get into your car, sneak into the back of the car, and then hold a fucking gun at you while the other dude gets in the passenger seat, and then you're a victim. My wife's friend she grew up with was targeted. They like were setting up to take her little girl. I read a story of a friend who's an adult with a baby and a husband. They were coming home from somewhere far away, stopped at a 7-Eleven or something to go to the bathroom, and somebody was filming her and was like, "Hey, do you like this one?"
Yeah, exactly. I saw that too.
And she's an adult. She's an adult fucking female with a family. So it's happening. It's always been happening. Watch out for yourselves and each other, and fucking kill a pedophile. That's okay. I can't say that. Be aware.
Yeah, just be aware.
Beat the shit out of a pedophile.
And this is kind of dealing with that same type of thing here in California. I believe SB Senate Bill 145 was just passed like a day or 2 ago, and this lowers penalties for adults who have sex with willing same-sex minors. A judge can decide if the adult has to register as a sex offender if the rapist is younger than 10 years of age.
Wow.
Do you want to expound on that for just a minute?
So the example I was using, and I believe this is correct because I've read through it a few times, but it's been a little bit. So that means if a 9-year-old, if a 19-year-old has sex with a 9-year-old, the judge can be like, okay, well, the 9-year-old didn't protest, so they consented. So this 19-year-old that was having sex with a 9-year-old doesn't need to register as a sex offender.
What about a 10-year-old? Then he does have to register?
I see. I don't know. I don't know the other side of it.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I know, like, under 10, I can infer from their information what they mean. Over 10, I would assume.
So if a 19-year-old or even older than that.
I was going off of the age of a 10-year gap specifically. Okay. So like 8, you know what I mean? So once we hit 11, there's probably
talking about 10 years old. It's talking about 10-year age gap.
10 years of age. Well, they're talking about both.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah.
Either way, this is fucked up.
Yeah. Either way, it's a step toward normalizing pedophilia.
Exactly.
Bravo, California. Fuck you.
Yeah, and people have been saying that. That's going to be happening for a while. And yeah, like you said, that's kind of the first step to that. Or not the first step, probably the 15th step to getting that done. But
it's going to be
not good. And I feel if, Biden or the Democrats get in, then it's definitely going to be, you know, even worse.
It's going to be like slave trade, but with kids.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to legalize pedophilia, and then it's going to be probably robots or inanimate objects and animals, and then for sure robots. That's where we're fucking going, everybody. And you didn't stop it.
Yeah. because you called all the conspiracy theorists crazy and wouldn't listen to us or anything like that. But it's just crazy because, yeah, I don't know how many examples we have to point out where it's like, we've said this months ago and now X amount of months later it's coming true. So
Sucks.
I don't get it. But
Go read. Everyone go read up on it.
Kind of all we have today. It's gonna be
That's all we have time for.
up right now. So I appreciate everybody watching, tuning in. Make sure to go check it out on YouTube tomorrow. Tune in to the Real Word Podcast tomorrow. Go check out Tuesday Morning Tokes. Any last words?
Nah, stay vigilant.
That is it, and we will try and be back next week. Are we going to try and do the Encinitas thing, or are we still going to push that off one more week?
I think we should push it off.
Yeah, let's push it off one more week and see what else comes up this next week.
Oh my God, who knows?
I'm sure there will be more to talk about.
There will be shit.
All right, everybody, until next time, peace.